Good morning. I am going to share with you my favorite Crockpot roast recipe. Tay told me everybody knows how to make a roast in a Crockpot, that I don't need to do this. But I feel not everybody knows how to make a good roast in the Crockpot. There's actually several different ways to do it. This is my favorite. I have found the seasonings are on point, and I keep it ketogenic by not using potatoes or carrots. So super simple. I'm just gonna build it real quick. I have everything sitting out here. The first thing I do is I slice an onion. I always like to put an onion in the bottom of my crock pot to set my meat on top of. Why? I don't know. I just always done it that way. So onion goes in, one whole onion. I use sweet onions just because I prefer the flavor. I have about a 2-pound chuck roast. I think it's chuck roast. So I'm gonna put it in. I did not salt it because of the seasonings that I use, but I did put fresh black pepper on it. So that goes on top. See, we have our onions, we have our roast. I'm gonna get that out of the way. The next thing would normally be potatoes and carrots. If you're not doing keto and you don't mind the carbs, by all means, put in some potatoes and some carrots. They're delicious. Instead, I substitute fresh green beans. So I'm just going to put these in here around the sides. I put in as many as my crock pot is going to hold, so I can't give you an exact amount. And it also depends on the size of the roast. After that, I like mushrooms. So mushrooms, always put mushrooms on top if you're going to use mushrooms. It will keep them from getting mushy by the time this is finished. When I do them on top, it still keeps them nice and a little firm. So that is done, super simple. Now what I use for seasoning. I'm sure you may have seen this recipe on Facebook. I've had it for years. I use 1 pack of Italian seasoning mix. I use 1 pack of brown gravy, Italian seasoning. It's actually an Italian salad dressing mix. And then a ranch dressing mix as well. So you have Italian, you have ranch, you have brown gravy. I put them all together. I add about a cup of water, and then I just pour it on top. So this makes a delicious gravy. What else I do, and I know it seems like a lot or a little excessive, but I put a stick of butter on top. You can just place it right on top, put your lid on, put it in your crock pot and get it going. For this, since I have about a 2-pound roast and my crock pot cooks a little high, I will do 5 hours on low. So you'll need to know, I guess about how your crock pot cooks and how big your roast is before you determine that. So this is gonna go in the crock pot. I'm gonna leave it for 5 hours on low. When I'm done, I will pull everything out because the gravy is delicious. You can either add, again, if you're keto, you may want to add xantham gum. If you're not, you can try cornstarch. You can also add a little cream to it and whisk it up to thicken it a little bit, but you want to save the gravy. So pull your roast out, then add in whatever your thickening agent is, whisk it up, let it sit in the crock pot until it's nice and thick. I will be serving this with mashed cauliflower. I will, I'm gonna see if I can't video that later. Just like mashed potatoes, best thing ever. Anyway, enjoy, thanks, bye. Super simple, need a good blender. Hey. So I totally forgot to do a video on the mashed cauliflower. Just real quick, what I do is I use 2 bags of riced cauliflower. I do go on ahead and steam it because you want it hot. I also squeeze out some of the excess water because I don't want my mashed potatoes to be runny. I do put them in my Ninja blender. I have tried a food processor. I have tried a hand beater. It does not work. I think you get the best consistency if you have a good quality blender that can puree. So I put it in there. I add some butter. You can add about 2 tablespoons of cream cheese. And if you would like to add garlic or a cheese of your choice, Put it in then, a little salt, a little pepper, and then blend it up. If it's a little thick, I would suggest just adding a little bit of milk or whipping cream to it. Get it to the consistency you want, taste it, and make sure it's the way you like it. And that is it. It went delicious with the roast this evening. Enjoy. Bye.